Is your back sore from spreading peat moss manually? Are you sick of spending hours trying to create even layers in your yard, only to lose 30% of your product to a wind gust or uneven distribution? If you are looking for a quick, easy, and efficient solution that will not leave you covered in dirt and dust, the Landsea Compost and Peat Moss Spreader is the answer to your prayers. Expertly developed in the USA with a lightweight frame and comfort grip handles, this powder-coated mesh barrel roller makes spreading a breeze no matter the size of your project. Simply clip the handles in to assemble, load it up with the top dressing of your choice, close the latches, and roll away. Featuring a tumbling cage to break up large clumps and distribute your product evenly every time, our spreader is better for your lawn and better for your wallet. Our modern approach to lawn care will have your lawn looking lush and professionally maintained in no time. With our complimentary Landsea lifetime product warranty and free shipping year-round, you can buy with confidence knowing that we've literally got your back. Visit Landsea.com to learn more and place your order today. That's LANDZIE.com and use Brian's 10 at checkout to save 10%.
You're now listening to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. Straightforward, no nonsense business advice. Completely unfiltered. Grow your business. Grow your life. Now, here's your host, Brian Fullerton.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. It is your host, Brian Fullerton here, hanging with you guys. And today, I wanted to talk about a topic that is near and dear to me and something that I think is going to help a lot of people out, both now and in the future. And that is how to start a part-time lawn care business. Now, here's the deal. Really quick, before we jump into this, I know a lot of you guys are full-time in lawn care, full-time in landscaping, full-time in tree work, full-time in fertilizations and lawn treatments. Awesome. But here's the deal. I want you guys to think all the way back to how you got started in the industry. Whether you were a young kid, 10, 12, 14 years old, push mowing and, taking care of the neighbor's lawn, to maybe 16, 17, 18, having a part-time hustle while you were in high school, or maybe you were just doing this to make ends meet and have a little bit of beer and party money, during the college years. And then you got out of college and you decided to take this thing full-time, and then you grew the company from there. Or you just decided to jump into the industry, full-time. That's cool too. But here's the deal. So many of us get started with a part-time lawn care business. And you know what? I did. That's exactly how I got started. I was a 10 or 12-year-old little dude out there push mowing lawns in my mom's trailer park, making 10, 12, 15 bucks, right? Every time I got done mowing a lawn. Fast forward, did that for a couple years. Actually went to work at Little Caesars for a few years, then worked at True Green for about a year, and then got back into lawn care at age 20. And you know what? I didn't just go full-time in the lawn care. If you guys know my story, you guys have listened to episode 1 of our podcast, you guys will know that I actually had a part-time lawn care hustle to make ends meet. Actually, my unemployment was denied at Little Caesars, and so I had to make money fast. I actually got fired from Little Caesars. I was later deemed that I had to do this whole hearing and all this other mess. I got fired basically on wrongful terms. I got all my unemployment retroactive, but in the meantime, I had my little Mickey Mouse bills, my little Mickey Mouse life and income and little world, so I needed to make some money, so I got that little push mower out from back in the day, and I got back into the business, push mowing my mom's trailer park lawns at age 18 or 19 before I worked at True Green. And you know what? I had decided that I'm never going to work for anybody ever again long term. Now, it took me about a year and a half for that to materialize, because I did end up working at True Green. Actually didn't hate it. I didn't like the fertilizer, the chemicals. I didn't like wearing the long sleeves, the long pants, the rubber gloves, the respirators sometimes, all that mess. Wasn't a big fan of all that, but I didn't mind working at True Green. It was actually a pretty fun company for what it was. And so anyway, I got back into the lawn care business at age 20 years old, working full-time at True Green, part-time with my lawn care side hustle. And some of you guys have heard my story. I bought a red F-150. Before that, I was borrowing my brother's Dodge Durango. I had a little 5x8 utility trailer from Tractor Supply. Bought a little Exmark Viking walk-behind mower. And I was in business. I had my little part-time side hustle business. Now, here's the deal. That little side hustle business changed my life I know it sounds weird, but I was making an extra $750, $1,000, $1,500 a month my first year in lawn care with my full-time job. That was a tremendous amount of money. I never want to forget where we came from. I never want to forget where I came from. I'm sure you guys don't want to forget where you came from. I always hear if you forget where you came from, you end up winding some way, shape, or form, winding up back there. So I never want to forget where I came from. And so here's the deal. I remember what it was like having an extra $500 a month come in when my unemployment was denied, and that's all I had to live on. That $500, $1,000, $1,500 until I could figure out a job. Now, here's the deal. It wasn't like everybody was paying $16, $18, $24 an hour to, be a 98.6 like it is today. Back in the day, you actually had to fill out resumes and you had to go through a job interview process, and sometimes you wouldn't get the job. I know it sounds bizarre, but that's how it was back in 05, 06, 07. Okay, so here's the deal. I wanted to talk for just a few minutes here about running a part-time lawn care business, how to start a part-time lawn care business. It's been a minute since we've really got a firm foundation laid on this podcast about how to start a lawn care business from scratch for the part-timers. Now, phase 2, or the other thing I wanted to mention here, and this is just relevant, recent, like practical, just daily freaking life. I come home every single day. Hey, babe, how was your day? Hey, honey, how was your day? We talk, we catch up for 20, 30 minutes. We listen to each other. We kind of dump on each other for the day. How's everything going? Just like you guys do, right? Just, married life. And so, Liz listens to a variety of podcasts during the day. She's got her people that she listens to and gets informed on and just likes listening to, right? Me personally, I'm listening to lawn care podcasts, and then I listen to a bunch of political podcasts, business podcasts, and that's just what I listen to. A lot of you guys know that. But here's the deal. I'm telling Liz, I'm like, man, freaking, interest rates are rising. This is rising. Fuel's rising. We're in a recession. Anybody with a brain cell knows that we're in a second, quarter of recession. They won't release that until the end of June. The press spokesperson, Jean-Claude Van Damme, whatever he is or she is, I don't even know anymore. You can't say that on a podcast. It's got to be politically correct. Not on this show, buddy. Here's the deal. They're like, yeah, no, the economy's doing great. We're not in a recession. Everybody's doing well. Best economy ever, right, with this current administration. Now, here's the deal. Anybody with a brain cell that's out there working 9 to 5 or has a small business knows, dude, things are wild right now. I'm not saying I'm not saying you can't make money. I'm not saying that you can't be profitable. I'm not saying that the ship is going down. I'm not saying anything like that. I'm not saying that we're in a recession and everybody's losing their home or anything like that, okay? What I am saying is that things are crazy. Things are tight. Profit margins are shrinking unless you're, increasing your rates. Gas prices are going through the roof, as many of you guys know. Costs of everything are going through the roof. I bought a box of lawnmower blades the other day. It was $225. We bought some Exmark ones. It was a whole story. I actually had some damage on the Exmark Laser Z. One of the baffles, I don't even know it was broken, but it was a couple $100. They wanted to throw some OEM blades on there when they were fixing it. I said, sure. Any which way, it was a whole thing. And so I'm looking at the line items, and it was $220 for some lawnmower blades. And I told my guy, Brad, I said, what? Well, I said, what's going on with this? He goes, that's what lawnmower blades cost. And I'm like, I get them all from Ballard, and then I buy like 40 at a time. So I haven't bought blades, honestly, for like 2 years, because we've just been using all the mid-rise and high-rise blades I got from Ballard about 2 years ago. And so I'm like removed, but not removed. You guys know what I'm saying? Like, at the gas pump, the guy's like, the receipt didn't print at the gas pump today, and he's like, hey, what number was it? I said it was 13. He goes, do you know what the total was? I said, honestly, dude, I don't even know. I said, I don't even know. I was filling up 2 of my mowers. He goes, I was 56 something, and I go, sounds about right. Because I don't even know, like, how much gas do you guys use? All of it. What do you guys pay at the pump? Whatever the pump is. I can't get lost on every nickel and dime and cent because there's just so many things to focus on. There's so many things moving. So I've had to, by necessity, macro out on a couple different things in my life, including little nickel and diming stuff like gas prices. If it's up 10 cents or down to 10 cents, I don't really care. But here's the deal. Gas prices are up $1, $2 in the last 12, 18, 24 months. We all know that. I know that. Even my, my mega wealthy self, like a mega pint. I don't even know where that came from. But even, I'm just joking. I'm not mega wealthy, obviously. So here's the deal. Even I've noticed, that gas prices are double from what they were last year. So here's my point. Interest rates are rising on home costs. Gas prices are going up. Food is through the roof. A box of lawnmower blades was $200. You're seeing it and noticing it and feeling it every single place you go. You can't even order DoorDash, and if it's not $60. Groceries, right? The whole deal, right? The whole deal. So here's my point. I get home, I'm telling all this to Liz, I'm like, blah, 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 blah. And I said, man, you know what this reminds me of? You know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of freaking 07, 08, 09. And she goes, oh my God, you should do a podcast on that. And I'm like, yeah? She goes, well, that's when you got your business started. $4 gas, food was through the roof, gas was through the roof. 1 out of every 8 people, every 5 people in Michigan, in Metro Detroit, were literally losing their home because the automotive companies were going under. Northville, Michigan, where I live, beautiful area. I was fertilizing lawns over there. 1 out of every 5 to 8 of these homes were on the chopping block, and these aren't $180,000 little post World War II stamped out housing houses. Okay, guys, these are $700,000-$800,000 homes back in 2007. Today's money, 800, 900, 1.1. You know what I'm saying? So these were good jobs. These were good college educated, dual income. He's an engineer, she's a nurse. He's an engineer, she's an engineer. He's an engineer, he's an engineer. You know, for you 2022 people. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. These are dual income people. Okay, and so. But 1 out of 7 people were on the chopping block. They're losing their home. And so one of the stats I heard way back in the day was the average person could have kept their home back in 07 and 08 if they're making an additional $400 a month. Everybody and their brother heard that, said that. So what did everybody do? Everybody started a part-time network marketing business. Everybody started a part-time lawn care hustle. Everybody started selling, real estate nights and weekends. Everybody had a little thing. Everybody had a little hustle. Everybody had a little startup side hustle thing. Now, my side hustle was my lawn care business. It wasn't out of a necessity because of the economy. I was a year or two early to the races because I had got laid off and got fired, right? So I had already started a little lawn care business. I was a little $20 chuck in the truck guy. But a lot of other people, imagine adding insult to injury. The economy is going through the crapper. Gas is going through the roof. Dozens, if not hundreds of thousands, not dozens, but hundreds of thousands of people are getting laid off. And it's one of those things where what's the easiest barrier to entry thing that a lot of people do? They get started cutting grass. And that's where your fertilizer guys come into play and your hardscaper guys come into play because there's bigger equipment needed. There's a bigger barrier to entry. You need licensing in a couple different categories for a couple different parts of the industry. Your average guy who gets laid off at, IBM or Ford or GM, he's not necessarily going to start tree climbing and felling trees, right? He's not going to do that, but he will pick up a zero-turn mower, or maybe he has a zero-turn mower because he's got a nicer house, a nicer property. He's got a little John Deere 930M. And he wants to, or 940M or whatever, and he wants to go pick up 2, 4, 10, 20 yards. By the way, how many people have we listened to and interviewed on the show in the last 12, 18 months that's literally their story? Hey, we bought a new piece of property. It was an acre or 2. I bought a bad boy. I bought a cub. I bought a whatever. Kind of liked it. Wanted to pay for the mower because it was $200 a month. Picked up 6, 7, 8 lawns. Fast forward 3 years. They're full-time in business, right? Because they just wanted to get out of their 9 to 5 and they found the Flexum and the financial freedom that a lawn and landscaping business could provide them. A good quality business. And it is a good quality business and industry if you do it right. So that's my podcast topic that I want to talk about for just a couple more minutes here today. Liz was just saying, she's like, you got to do a video series on YouTube, how to start a lawn care business for part-timers, because my gosh, what else do you do right now in the economy? The stock market is just crud. Crypto is crud. Everything is, you can't find real estate deals. Anything that you do find real estate deals, people are buying up, but you have to have some really, really good financial backing to do that. The economy is tough right now. So there's a lot of liquidity out there. A lot of people don't know what to do with their money. And not only that, outside of the people that have money, there's people that right now are literally struggling. They're from the single moms to the young couples to the people that are just having 1 or 2 kids, and they're trying to make it work. I mean, maybe you guys can relate. Liz and I are in the exact same boat half the freaking time. Like, one minute I'm like, we're doing great. The next minute I'm like, dude, we are so broke, it's not even funny. Right. And I don't know if you guys can relate. Like $100,000 a year of net income used to be like the dream. I mean, Liz and I literally for years were like, if we could just make $100,000 a year, we would be wealthy. The red velvet ropes would par. The private invitations to galas would start showing up. People would ask us to donate money. We would buy the Lamborghini Huracan. We would be A-list celebrities. And I don't know where we got this stupid idea, okay? Because nowadays, $100,000 is the new $50,000 a year. Okay. And it's just, it's going to be such a red wave in November. It's not even funny because anybody with a brain cells realize that the current administration's policies for the last 24 months have been absolutely disastrous. And I'm not saying that just as like this, kind of pressing my opinion out there in the blogosphere. I'm just saying, dude, look at the numbers, look at your stats, look at the checkbook. Look, do you feel more financially successful? Do you feel more financially sound in the last 2 years than you did 4 years ago, 8 years ago? And it's not a one side versus the other side. It's just dude, it's my side. It's my wife and I. It's us back to back going through life, battling and trying to take care of our family just like you guys are. Right? Just like it's you and your wife, you and your husband out there right now. Do you feel better about your life, the prospects of your financial future, your kids, buying a home, putting them in private school, whatever you want to do, than you did 18 to 24 months ago before COVID, the world ended, the world's printing out, $8-9 trillion of all this extra stimmy money. I saw somebody, it's like they printed out $40,000 per person and they gave everybody $1,600 or $2,400 and they gave the rest to their rich friends. Right? I mean, literally, like, what did people think was going to happen? And right now, they're trying to pump another like $1.5 trillion into the economy with other proposals. They're trying to give everybody rebate gas cards. The stupidest stuff I've ever seen. And who am I? I'm literally just a normal, average dude. Right? That's the wild thing. I'm a normal average dude. I have a wife. I have a baby. I have a dog. I have a cat. We have like 2.2 kids and a little golden retriever. I mean, like that's literally who we're just like you guys listening to the show. And I tell Liz all the time, I'm like, dude, we're getting killed. We could not mow and do $1,000 of gross revenue per day. We could not drop a YouTube video to hopefully, try to create some passive income and some side income, hustle income, nights and weekends. It went from like, hey, this is fun to, dude, we got to get serious. And I don't know if you guys can relate. And I'm not a doom and gloom. I'm not a panic guy. I'm not like the world's falling, apart. Because let me give you a quick tip. For everybody listening to everything that's doom and gloom, and everybody's like, that's going to start screaming in the end of June into the first couple of weeks of July about the recession that is here. And many of you guys have heard this before, but the definition of a recession is 2 negative quarters of GDP growth or decline, let's say. Now, let me give you a quick for instance. If the economy is a $10 trillion economy or a $20 trillion economy or a $3 trillion economy or a $100 billion economy, depending on your country, your state, whatever, okay? And it goes down 1%, or 2%, or 4%, do you still, if it's a $10 trillion economy and it goes down 1%, I'm already way out of my league here on math, but what is that, $100 billion of decline? Whatever it is, $10 billion, or between 10 and 100 billion. Somebody fact check me. My point is there's still $9.9 billion or $9.9 trillion of GDP. There's still $9.99 trillion of economic movement, buying and selling of goods, products, and services, right? So it's not like the economy goes from $10 trillion a year or $5 trillion or whatever the U.S. economy is doing right now, and it goes to $1 trillion where it's a 90% drop off. My point is, more wealthy people are made, more self-made millionaires. There's more people that become millionaires in recessions and depressions than any other time in history. Okay, wealthy people make more money in downtimes, not upsides. Why? Why is that? Because the wealth transfer comes from the middle class that, buys high, sells low. They dump assets. It's a fire sale. Things are on sale. Wealthy people with liquidity and money and cash flow, they end up snatching those things up. And it is an absolute transfer of wealth. And if you don't like that, here's a quick tip. Get wealthy and stop being a middle class person. Now, easy for me to say, right? I'm in the exact same boat with you guys. Here's where I'm at right now. You know where it starts? It starts with a $400 extra per week or per month lawn care side hustle to then go make $100,000 to $200,000 to $300,000 a year with a successful business. Let that cash flow, let that compound, reinvest into other assets. And in 10, 20 years, you can start having a $1, $2, $4, $5, $10 million net worth. And you're going to be upper middle class, wealthy, whatever you want to say. Now, if you want to get 50 millions and 100 millions and 200 millions, I'm not there yet. I can't teach that. Another podcast for another time. But my point is, don't be a victim in this next couple of weeks and months and years. It's going on with the economy. And so, dude, I just get so fired up about this topic because I know what it's like to have $400 to $1,000 extra coming in per month with a part-time lawn care side hustle. It changed my world a couple years ago, just 15 years ago. How many people would it help right now for your wife to be a stay-at-home wife? Maybe you're a school teacher making $45,000 a year, or, unfortunately, some teachers get paid like $30,000 a year in some districts still today. And if you had an extra $1,000 a month side hustle for 7 or 8 months, and it was a $7,000 extra, side hustle net business, $7,000 to $30,000, that's $7, $4, that's a 22% raise or 20% raise that you're going to have in your income, in your quality of life, your lifestyle, by having a part-time lawn care side hustle outside of your teaching job. Imagine everything you have and it's 25% better or 25% more of. You have 25% more stakes, you have 25% better looking in driving vehicle, you have a 25% more clothes or 25% nicer clothes, whatever it is. That's always how my brain is working, right? So that's my question to you. If a part-time lawn care side hustle business could help you by adding an extra $400 to $1,000 to $2,000 a month, who wouldn't get started doing that? Everybody, right? And it's very, very easy to do, very, very simple to do. And all you have to do is couple it with a little bit of know-how and some hard work. So here's what I want to talk about for just a couple quick minutes here. The simple answer of how to start a lawn care business or a part-time lawn care business. Now, we're going to get brass tacks, X's and O's here. Here's what I want to say. And this isn't a plug to plug it, but I'm just plugging Launchpreneur Academy really quick because I haven't really plugged it that much in the last couple of weeks and months. We have so much going on. I'm so excited about life. But LaunchpreneurAcademy.com is a training website that we put together about 3 years ago. It's put about 400 hours of my time into this website, from training programs to courses to resources that you guys can use to grow a successful lawn care landscaping business. So many of you guys are listening in. You've bought products, you've bought coaching calls, you've bought contracts and templates, postcard designs. Extremely thankful, extremely grateful. That is like my part-time side hustle thing, my YouTube stuff, my social media stuff. That's what I use to supplement our income, to keep the ability to have my wife be a stay-at-home wife and to, take care of Emmy, make some extra money. That's just, I am not shy about that's my side hustle. That is what I do. I help people nights and weekends how to grow a more successful lawn and landscaping company. Other people watch sports. Other people know what's going on in FIFA. Other people know who's the first round draft pick. Other people are into fishing. Okay, my sport, my fun thing I do is I help people grow successful businesses. I love it. I think it's very rewarding. It's so pure with what we do. And so long story short, thank you guys for the support of Launchpreneur Academy. Maybe you're new and you haven't been there. You're like, I've heard the ads. I've heard of the website. I've never really snooped around on it. Well, let me give you a quick thing that I want to talk about. The How to Start a Lawn Care Business training program. It's $99. There's 556 people that have bought that training program over the last 36 months. So number one, thank you to all the 556 people. Okay. Inside that training program, there's 6 or 7 different modules about how to start a lawn care business. So here's what I'm going to do really quick. We're going to go through the Cliff Notes version. If you want to check out the resource, you want to start a lawn care business, there's the in-depth training programs modules. Each video is 20 to 30 minutes long, and you can go down the whole rabbit hole about how to start a lawn care business in depth. Now, really quick, I'm going to talk to you guys really quick about how you actually start a lawn care business, give the Cliff Notes of about what's inside that training course, because I can't give away the course for free. I'm not going to do that. It takes a lot of time and a lot of money to put these things together. My annual renewal website fee for the sales platform that we use is thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. Things cost money, dude. It's just the nature of the beast. So websites cost money, things cost money. You guys know how it goes. So let's do this really quick. If you are a 9-to-5er, or maybe you work 8 to 4, or 8 to 5, and I know a lot of people listening in, they work 7 to 2, 7 to 3, pick your thing. There's so much opportunity nights and weekends to start a lawn care business. Now, some people listening in, they're like, we don't need more competition. We don't need more guys in the business. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. There's so many lawns out there. I've chiseled out a couple $100,000 a year business with a couple hundred clients. I've taken no skin off the or no food out of anybody else's mouth, no skin off the back of anybody else in my area. Okay, we've never stole a client, we've never whatever. This is just extra business that was out there. So many people need good contractors and good people that can mow grass, chop down trees or saw down trees, whatever, lay pavers, lay bricks, whatever. We need more people in the trades and in the industry. So for all of you guys that are full-time guys, don't think I'm trying to get a bunch of chucks in the trucks and get a bunch of $20 lawn care guys out there. No. What I want to talk to you guys for just a couple quick minutes is if you get in the industry, some helpful tips about how to do it right to keep the standard high, make good pricing, have good pricing, so that way the whole industry stays high on us being able to generate top dollars and to make great profit. I will tell you, it's not going to behoove anybody to undercut or cut the knees out of anybody else that's trying to get into the industry by being the $20 guy. There's enough demand. There's enough need for what we have out there. And number two, you need to be making some good money to do this to even make it all worth it, right? I mean, that's just business common sense 101. So here's the first thing we talk about in the how to start a lawn care business. And I'm not promoting the course to promote the course. I literally would give it away for free. I was telling them, I was like, should I just give this away for $1? And she's like, no, like if somebody wants to start a business, they got to put some skin in the game. I'm like, yeah, that's fair. And that's true too. There's some merit to that. You definitely respect content that you pay for versus content that's for free. At least that's my story. When I pay $1,000 for a coaching call or $400 for a coaching call, or my lawyer is $375 for his paralegal and $550 an hour for his services. Trust me, like when he's talking, I'm listening. All right. So if you're starting a lawn care landscaping business, the first thing we talk about in my course and then also in general is you got to come up with a good name, a good color scheme, and some good branding and a good logo. Really simple. Good color scheme, good branding, good name, and a good logo. Most of that you can get done in a couple of hours. I would encourage you to take a week or two, put some thought behind it, jot down a bunch of ideas, brainstorm, put pen to paper, look at different color schemes, type in logo ideas, lawn care on Google, and then click images. Go to Fiverr, have somebody make you a logo, about $100, $200, you're off to the races there. How to actually start the lawn care company. You need to create at a minimum, a DBA. Now, if you're a part-time guy, you can start with a DPA and be a sole proprietor. That's fine. If you have the extra funds, you want to kind of do this a little bit, quote unquote, more right, go and register an LLC. Every state's different how you do it. You push a couple papers, you got to file a couple different things, but you do need to do it correctly. There's services that you can use. Corporate Direct out of Arizona is a company that we refer. I haven't really talked about them in a while, but they will help you set up the LLC. Garrett Sutton and his firm, they're great people over there. Tell them Brian sent you, or the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. They'll save you $100 off an LLC formation, $600, $700, $800. You're off to the races. Not going to go into a whole nother podcast for a whole nother time. I've done this already before. Don't use LegalZoom. Don't use an expedited service. Don't use your brother-in-law. Hey, I can register the paperwork. It's $58 and I can just register on my state's website. There's 8 other things you have to do as you register that. It's more complicated than just filing a DBA. Okay, so I filed a DBA before. Cool, congratulations. That's $20 at your local county office. It's not the same. Okay, you're doing it at the state level. There's things you have to do. I'm not trying to put, the fear of God in you or anything like that. I'm just saying you need to do it correctly, okay? In the training course, we talk about that. Now, outside of that, we're talking about the roadmap. It all starts here. This is a 25-minute segment in the course, but let me give you guys the lay of the land. Paul Jameson is great at communicating this stuff. You have to get a business plan. You have to get an idea of who you're trying to target and what you're trying to accomplish with this business. Right? Are you trying to hit the, I need an extra $500 a month. Okay. Then I need 10 $50 clients. I'm in this neck of the woods. They're all acre properties. They're all $80 mows. Okay. If you want to make an extra $800 a month, you need 10 $80 clients. Don't drop your price. Don't drop the minimum. That's what you do. That's where you start. Okay. But get a small business plan. Get a small game plan. Now, I also don't want people to do analysis by paralysis, overthink this thing for a year, because I have some people I've done coaching calls with and they're on the fence and they've been on the fence for months. They've been on the fence for a year and a half. It's not an indictment. I'm not being mean. It is what it is. Some people are literally, I make the joke, some people are waiting for all the lights to turn green before they hit go. And everybody goes, haha, that's a good analogy. That's a good thing. You've heard me say that. You've probably said that. However, there literally are people. It's not an indictment. It's just there's literally people that are getting ready to get ready because they think the timing is not perfect. The timing is never perfect for anything, from having kids to buying a house to getting this to getting married to starting a YouTube channel to uploading this to writing your first book. Your first book's going to suck. It's just how it works. Your first YouTube video is going to suck. Your first lawn care business cards, they're going to suck. But you have to start, because then you finally have a benchmark to start working from. You have to start. Your first long jump is going to suck. Your first pole vault is going to suck. Your first time on the hurdles, it sucked. Everybody, your first block and tackle in football, I guarantee you it sucked. Your first time at bat for a baseball, it sucked. The first time you kicked a soccer ball, it completely sliced and went a different way. Same thing with a golf ball, okay? That's just how it starts. But here's the thing, you have to start. So get a game plan, get a small business plan. What's the name, the logo, the color scheme, get your business paperwork set up. By the way, with your business paperwork set up, once you get your LLC set up, file for your FEIN, your Federal Employee Identification Number. From there, you get to go to the bank and open up a small business banking checking account. So really quickly, Chase, Huntington, Bank of America, pick your person. I don't know who's got the lowest fees. I don't know who's got the lowest minimums. I don't know who needs direct deposit to keep it free. I don't know. You're going to have to do a little bit of homework on that, okay? It's been 17 years since I started my first business checking account. I had Bank of America, I guess, for, I don't know, 8, 9, 10 years. And I moved over to Chase about 8, 9, or 10 years ago, okay? Bank of America was killing me on the fees, so I moved over to Chase. Everything I got through Chase, and Chase has been decent, okay? I don't even know what I pay for fees. I don't even know what I got to keep in there for a minimum balance. I don't know. You should know when you're starting, but I don't know right now. I'm like level 8 on this spectrum. You're level 0, just getting started. Work with me, okay?
Are you dreaming of enjoying your favorite ice-cold beverage on the perfect lawn this summer? Have you spent hours in your yard trying to turn it into a masterpiece only to realize you're not Picasso? We've all been there and know how frustrating and time-consuming this can be. Luckily, Landsea is the solution for all of your lawn care needs. Our diverse catalog of products was expertly developed by a lawn care enthusiast for lawn care enthusiasts. No BS, no inflated price tags, just user-friendly, affordable, quality equipment that can be easily assembled, easily maneuvered, and easily maintained season after season, no matter your experience level. We are so confident that our products will deliver that we're offering free shipping year-round and a complimentary lifetime product guarantee, allowing you to buy with confidence. Landsea is also the exclusive U.S. retailer of Swardman Reel Mowers. Swardman mowers are precision engineered and beautifully designed to cut your lawn quietly and efficiently time after time. Be the envy of all your neighbors this summer and visit Landsea.com to take the first step in achieving the better lawn of your dreams. That's LANDZIE.com. And you know what? That drink will never taste better. Use the code Brian's10 to save 10%, and the link is in the show notes.
From there, you have a business checking account, put $500 into it. You'll pay that self back later out of that at another time, fund it, and you're off to the races, okay? So next time somebody writes you a check or you sign up with a CRM like Jobber, Yardbook, LMNOP, pick your person, all those checks will be made payable, or your invoices or your charge cards on file will go into that business account. Don't commingle funds, we call it. Keep your personal separate, your business separate, okay? You guys still with me? Okay, I didn't hear you. Hello? Yes, yeah, okay. I'm just having some fun. Marty, Mr. Producer's behind the takeout window over on our show too, Paul. All right, let's keep it going. I friggin' love Paul. All right, let's keep it going. Let's talk about equipment. So the equipment's like the 40-minute module in the How to Start a Lawn Care Business Training course. Everybody wants to talk about equipment all day long. On that video, I actually go on the showroom floor of Weingarts. They're gracious enough to let me just literally vlog. I've filmed like a 20, 30-minute video there, like I said. Just walked around the whole showroom floor. Best mowers to buy, best things to get, what trimmers, what blowers, what edgers, all that kind of stuff. Short story long, you want to buy if you're starting a part-time lawn care side hustle, a push mower is not awful. Okay, I'm trying to work with everybody here. A push mower is not awful, but it's only going to get you so far. If you start there, that's totally fine. You can go push mow 4 or 5 extra lawns at, 20 to 40, 50, $80 a pop and make that extra $400 a week. Nothing wrong with that. Of course, you're going to bottleneck and top out with that really quick. Number 2, you can go to a Toro Time Master. It's a 30-inch mower. You can get them at Home Depot for $1,000. I got to put $1,000 in to, make some money. I wanted to make $1,000. I'm already spending money. It's a business. It's still a business. It might be one of the most easiest entry businesses out there, but it's still a business. It still takes some startup capital. Tough. Okay, it's just how it works. So you can get a Toro Time Master at Home Depot. It's $1,000. you're off to the races. From there, you can either go get a Kohler powered Toro 30-inch commercial push mower or an Exmark 30-inch commercial push mower with a Kohler engine. Don't get the Kawasaki, get the Kohler. That'll cost you $2,000 to $3,000, a little bit better mower and a little bit better quality. It's going to last a little bit longer. Now, part-time lawn care side hustle. Maybe some of you guys already have a zero turn. Maybe some of you guys need to go buy one. You can get a good used zero turn mower for about $5,000 to $7,000 from any of the big brands. It's a part-time business. You're putting your big toe into this thing to see if you like it. Now, here's what I would say. You can get a used commercial mower for $4,000, $5,000, $6,000. You can go to Tractor Supply and buy a bad boy, whatever, for $4,000, $5,000, $6,000. Okay, those mowers will do you just fine. Maybe you're a little bit more budget conscious. You can go to Lowe's and Home Depot and get a Toro Time Master. Maybe I got that mixed up earlier. One's a Time Master, one's a Time Cutter. The Time Cutter, I think, is the is that the ride-on one, guys? Help me out here. That's a little 40, 42, 44. And some of you guys, you wouldn't even get caught dead from your Exmarks and your Skags and your Cubs to get on the Toro Time Cutter, Time Master, whatever it is, Time Cutter. I get it. But remember, going back all the way to the beginning, the very first couple of days, the very first inception of your business, a Time Cutter would have been the Rolls Royce. Okay, let's humble the ego a little bit, because you know what? I would have killed for a Time Cutter back in the day when I had little push mowers. You know what I'm saying? Back when I was 10, 12, 15 years old, or even 18, 19, getting back into the industry. A little Time Cutter would have been the cat's meow, okay? You're a couple $1,000 into a mower, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000. Can you afford an Exmark for $15,000? Probably not. Should you buy that? Probably not. But that being said, you can find a good used mower for $4,000 to $6,000 with 750 to 1,500 hours on it. It's going to burn a little oil. It's going to make some sounds you don't know what those are. I get it. But you know what? That's a decent little mower that you can be off to the races. If you want to buy new, rock and roll, 0%, 42 months, $200 a month. No big deal, okay? If it's your part-time side hustle, you're probably going to do this for 2, 3, 4 years. It's okay to finance that mower for 2 to 3, 4 years as well. If you want to pay cash, pay cash. Let's keep going. Handheld equipment. You need a good trimmer. You need a good blower. That's it. A great blower would be an Echo 7 PB770 or an Echo 8010. They're $500. Make the investment. Just trust me. Make that investment. Go all the way to the end of the spectrum. Get the nicest one you can. You're good to go. Red Max, get at least a 7500, or maybe it's a 7550 now, or the Red Max 8500 or the 8560 is the top of the line of that series, okay? Get an Echo 8010 if you want. Get an Echo PB770. Get a Red Max 8560. Get a Stihl BR800C. Just trust me. Just get the best blower you can. It's fine. Put a couple grand into this thing. I promise you, you'll actually enjoy having a part-time side hustle, and you won't hate it 2 minutes into it if you just get started. Now, again, I know a lot of people don't have thousands of dollars laying around. If you want to go to Home Depot and go get a little PB580 for $200, $300, still a solid mower. You cannot go wrong. A solid blower. You cannot go wrong with that leaf blower, okay? I'm giving you guys the details. I'm giving you guys the cliff notes. I want to get you guys out there as fast as possible making money. You should literally be able to do all of this in a week. You should literally be able to figure out the first couple stuff on Monday, Tuesday. Get your LLC filed. It's going to take a day or two for that. Let's say week 2. Week 2, you're going to the bank. You're opening all this stuff up. Week 3, week 2, or I should say the second part of week 2, you should be able to start buying equipment. You should be off to the races 2 to 3 weeks into this thing, already generating revenue, okay? Talking about trimmers, Red Max 260 TS, Echo 2620. Just Husqvarna 525L, Stihl FS91 or 94R. Okay, all great trimmers, all top of line, $300. If you can't afford that, go to Home Depot and go get a PA. What's the SRM 225? I think is the old staple. It's $179. It's still $179. I think one of the other ones with a little bit more CCs might be like $219 or something like that. That you talk about recessions. That thing is recession proof. Okay, when they move the number on the SRM 225 up $10, that's how you know we're going to be in trouble in the economy. Okay, that's my real litmus for a depression. Recession is all the numbers we're getting right now from the Fed and everybody else. Depression is when Echo changes the price from $179 to $189. $209. Okay. SRM 225, great trimmer. I used a trimmer like that for 4 years, okay? It was a great trimmer. Can't go wrong with it. Automatically comes with the Speed Feed 400 head from Echo. You don't have to buy another head for $40 or $50 from your dealer. You're off to the races, okay? Get a spool of 3-pound Echo Black Diamond .95 or 105, or go get some Ballard Phantom line, hashtag Brian's 10, and you guys are off to the races, okay? What do you got now? You got a mower, you got a trimmer, you got a blower. You don't need an edger. You can flip edge. We have videos on YouTube how to flip edge. Save $400 there. Go buy one of those on year 3 or 4, okay? And then number 2, or not number 2, but to continue going through this whole speech that's part of the How to Start a Lawn Care Business training program, we talk about trailers. Now, really quick, all right, we're shifting gears, hard shift. We're talking about trailers. You need a 5x8 or a 5x10 utility trailer. You can go buy a new one for $800 to $1,000 at Tractor Supply. More than likely, you can find one on Facebook Marketplace for $300, $400, $500. Okay, it's not going to look pretty. It's not going to be the best. It is going to have 2 different colored rims on it. You know what? That's why they make matte black spray paint at Home Depot, okay? Go paint the other rim. Go paint both rims. One's white, one's gray. You know what? Spray paint them both black. $9.99 for a can of spray paint. You're off to the races, okay? And you think I'm being funny, but I want to do this. I want to start if I had just a little bit more time, which is, everybody's prerogative just in life too, right? Like nobody ever says they have more time as they get older, but I could do all this for $7,500, and I'm not going to do some people are doing that right now. I'm not doing that. Okay. I'd love to, I just don't have the time, but you could literally start this whole route, this whole deal for $7,500. I mean, it sounds like a lot of money, but even if you financed it all and you slapped it on some credit card or something like that, you could still start making money to make an extra $400 to $1,000 a month to help pay for the rising cost of gas and for the rising cost of food. That's who I'm trying to talk to you really quick if you're trying to start a part-time lawn care side hustle. So go find a trailer. You can spend $1,000 on a trailer. You can spend $18,000 on a trailer. I mean, it's the spectrum is wide open. 2 other really good resources for podcast, episode 152 and 153. One was which mowers to buy. The other one was what's the best trailer to buy. Okay. I went into both of those for about an hour at length, recorded those 2 years ago at the 2020 Hype House down in Florida with a bunch of great people there. Those 2 episodes are really, really good. Okay. Dude, my brain just works too fast, bro. I have too much in my mind. I got too much going on. I don't have too much going on, man. We're rock and rolling. I'm changing the world just like you guys, man. We're taking this thing to the top. All right. Okay. So we talked about trailer shopping. You can get a $500 trailer on Facebook Marketplace. You can get a $1,000 one at Tractor Supply. Okay. Keep going through. Pricing. Let's talk about pricing for just a quick minute. You're going to hear things about man-hour rate. You're going to hear things about what you should be making per hour. What are you charging per lawn, per this, per that? Look, long story short, start at a minimum of $40. Most of your half acre to 3/4 size acres, $55 to $75, anywhere from $80 to $100 per acre. Boom, there's your litmus for 2022. That's almost across the board. We're at over $100, $150 per acre now for our commercial stuff. If I don't get it, I don't care. If we do get it, it's extremely popular, profitable, I should say. Let me give you another quick quote or a quick example. Bid stuff as if you one day will have employees doing it. If I can give you a quick life tip, quick business tip, something that I completely screwed up my whole business the first decade was we bid stuff as if I was doing it. And I mean from efficiency to productivity, from profitability to everything in between. I was not paying myself out of the company. I was doing 100% effort. Eventually, you have to have an owner's salary and an owner's draw. You can still put time and energy into the business, of course, but then imagine an employee being on site doing 80% of what you're doing at best. So you have to start bidding things as if somebody else is doing it, and you're also paying yourself at the same time out of the company, whether you're in the business or not. Okay, that's called an owner's salary. And then you can have distributions or an owner's draw later on. Okay, so let me give you a quick, for instance, when you guys are a part-time side hustle person and you're just getting your business started and you're like, dude, it's just a side hustle. It's just a part-time thing. Right. But it is still a part-time small business. And you don't want to have a part-time unprofitable business, right? Like you want to have this side hustle thing. You got 2 options. 1, go pick up a part-time job making $16 an hour at Menards. Or number 2, you want some time flexibility, some financial freedom. You want to own your own thing, build something, maybe give it to somebody, sell it off one day. Maybe it'll, sprout into something that's big and you can go full-time. Awesome. If you're going to treat it like a little Mickey Mouse business, and you're going to treat it to where you don't care if it's super profitable, I would encourage you to not spend 2, 5, 10 grand out of the gate and just go work part-time at Menards for 20 hours a week. There's your side hustle. There's your $400 to $1,000 a month. If you want to grow something and build something and you want to actually get paid top dollar and get paid what you will eventually find is the going rate and your worth per hour, you're going to be needing to charge a lot more than you imagine. So the reason I say that is don't take on the $25 lawns. Don't cut your neighbor for $25. It's $40. Well, the professional company that comes through, he does it for $50, so I'm going to do it for, $35. Wrong answer. I'm just telling you, don't do that for 1,000 different things, for 1,000 different reasons. Heed the warning. I will say it. Paul will say it. Anybody with a podcast will say it. Anybody you talk to will say it. Don't cheap the price. Don't go down on the price. Okay. You're like, I don't have the overhead, right? But one day you might, and one day you will. And if you do, or you might, you're going to really wish that you had all those properties at the retail rate, let's say, versus the wholesale rate that you're trying to save people money. By the way, you're not saving anybody anything. All you're doing is costing you profitability and your part-time side hustle. What are you doing with your part-time side hustle? You're giving up more of your time away from your friends, your family, your wife, your kids. So if you're going to do that, you better be charging a premium rate to do that. If somebody wants me to leave my wife, it's going to cost $1,500 a day to leave my wife. Companies all the time with YouTube crap, they're like, hey, come visit the factory. How about not? How about I've seen 1,000 different blowing machines, injection mold machines. I've seen 1,000 different factory lines. I don't care. They think it's cool because it costs them $100 million. I don't think it's cool because I'm trying to build my house and be a full-time dad and be a full-time husband and just be a great, person. Does that make sense? You got to pay me for my time. That's just how it works. And by the way, people need to pay you guys for your time. I'm not important. I'm just saying you're just as important. Value your time, value you. Free estimates, all that kind of crap. Like, dude, nothing is free. It's costing you your time, even if it's a part-time side hustle business. Listen to the other shows. Listen to the Paul Jameson, the Green Industry podcast. We all say the same thing. Get paid for your time. Okay. All right. Man, I just get so fired up. It's like lawn care. I'm like, Oh, Mr. Marty, Mr. Producer's probably adding commercials to break this up because I feel for Marty. He's like, where do I put in commercials? I'm like, I don't know, dude. I'm like, we got to run commercials to pay for this thing, but like, all right. So $40 minimum to drop the gate. I don't care if it's a postage stamp. I don't care if you're bidding an acre for $40, whatever. At least do a $40 minimum. Most of the lawns are getting $50 to $80 for a half acre to 3/4 acre. And I'm noticing most guys are getting anywhere from $80 to $100 an acre. Okay. Please start there. Okay. Go up from there. If you're like, hey, I don't even know. I make $80,000 a year. I'm a freight broker. I'm doing great, but I want to have some extra money to pay for a family vacation. That's awesome. Here's a tip. Making $40 might not work for you per hour. Right? You might be used to making $80 an hour. Well, I don't know if the market's going to bear $80 for a lawn cut, if you will, for like a half acre lot when it should be a $50 or $60 cut. However, tough. Like you said, start at 80, and if customers don't want to pay it, well, then they're not going to get you to do it. But I'll tell you what, a lot of people will pay a premium to have somebody who knows what they're doing and cares about what they're doing mow their lawn or take care of their property. I rarely pick the cheapest guy in town with anything that Liz and I are always hiring out. All right. So quick little tip there if you're like more highfalutin, you know what I'm saying? Like Paul. I'm just kidding. All right, let's go through. Okay. Marketing and advertising. It's not rocket science. I'm just giving you the farm. We have residential lawn care template flyer for $7. It's the cheapest thing I could charge on the website to not lose money with transaction fees and all this other crap. Okay. It was $7. You can get it, download it, open it in Google Drive. It's native in Pages as a Word document on Mac. It doesn't work on every device and every platform. Most of these resources you got to use on a desktop. Okay. They're not the website and just the resources, they're documents. They're not going to open up on your phone. I don't care if you have an iPhone or an Android. They're not going to work on an iPad. You have to go and run it off of a desktop or a laptop. Okay. If something doesn't work on a Mac, by the way, these are all Word documents. All of our contracts and resources and stuff, they're all Word documents. They'll open up in Word and Pages, but other word processors sometimes don't work, so use them on Google Docs. Google Docs seem to be the equalizer for a word processor for anybody. I've never had anybody not be able to open up any of the resources eventually through either Pages, Word, or Google Docs is the last ditch effort. If not, I'll refund your money. It's literally, I just want to make sure I'm taking care of you guys. The postcards, by the way, they're not editable. They are PDF art file. They will be editable through Postcard Mania. That's their catch, is that they will, to earn the print business, to print off 3,000 postcards for you guys. They'll make free edits, upload your photo, upload your logo, upload your phone number, your call to action on our art file templates for the postcard designs. Okay. Marketing and getting new customers. There's 1,000 podcasts. There's 1,000 different YouTube videos on all of that. If you want to get some yard signs, we have a new partnership with UZ Marketing. You can get 100 yard signs, bandit signs for $100. One color, one-sided, $99 for 99 signs, including stakes. Hell of a deal. We'll have an affiliate link. You guys can check Linktree or our YouTube description box for that. Okay. This stuff is awesome. And you don't even need yard signs, lawn flyers, or postcards, okay? You can literally just start knocking on doors, pass out some business cards, put a Facebook message out. Hey guys, I'm cutting grass part-time just to, make some supplemental income. If anybody needs some lawn service and you're in the, Fort Myers area, or it's probably like 100,000 people, but the Lewis Center area, of Columbus, Ohio, give me a jingle. Our radius is 5 miles, 5 minutes, whatever, from Polaris Mall or Polaris Church, okay? Or whatever, okay? Just figure out a little niche. There's 100 podcasts that can teach you how to get more customers, how to sell, how to market. We have a 20-minute, video in there about how to get new customers. And then also, go figure, for the upsell, we have a how to get new customers training program, which is extremely popular as well, okay? I'll have to look at how many people actually bought that one. Another very successful training course, how to get new customers. We got you guys covered. Okay. That's my point. All right. Last one. We did in the training, course, how to start a lawn care business. We did some property walkthroughs and how to bid and estimate that's similar to pricing, but different. And then lastly was a back end office and workflow. Eventually you just want to register with a QuickBooks Online account. I think it's like $20 or $50 a month. I don't know. When I signed up, it was $20. Paul says it's $50 a month now because I listen to his podcast. I don't even know what I pay. It just auto charge cards on file. We have an account with them, obviously. My bookkeeper has access to it. My CPA has access to it. My payroll people have access to it. My wife has access to it. I have access to it. I think Bedell has access to it. You might have access to it. I don't really know. I think Brad at Weingarts has access to it. Ted, my sales guy, probably has access to it. My banker probably has access to it. I don't care. I mean, what I make is what I make. Like it is what it is. So that being said, register a QuickBooks Online account that's going to help you with tracking your expenses and categorizing things correctly. In the beginning, put everything in a shoebox. I know it goes against everything I've ever said on the podcast. In the beginning, you're running a part-time hustle, 5, 10, 15 grand a year revenue. You're going to have less than 100, 200 receipts through the year. It's very easy to categorize that and be like the Joker with 100 daggers all the way around you with all your different receipt piles. Put it all together in an Excel spreadsheet. Take it to your CPA. He'll file your taxes for $300 for the business. It's no big deal. If you're going to do $10, $20, $50,000, $100,000 a year in revenue, $1 million a year in revenue, you need a bookkeeper. And I mean that sincerely. If you're doing over $20 to $30 to $50,000 a year in gross revenue, you need a bookkeeper. Stop negotiating it. Stop fighting it. Stop arguing with it. Stop thinking that's not for you. And I'm saying this with love, right? This is for somebody who's putting out content because they care about you, not because you guys are going to sign up with Cycle CPA and we get a kickback, or you go with Gulf Coast Bookkeeping and Paul can run an ad. It's not the point, okay? If you think we're making millions on this stuff, you're wrong. I'm telling you with love, you need to sign up with a bookkeeper. I don't care who you go with. I care about that you get somebody that helps you stay organized and stays compliant. If you get audited, would you rather have your books professionally done for $200 to $300 a month, $3,000 a year, or try to solve that problem on your own and explain to an IRS auditor how you categorize all your receipts currently, or you gave them your box of receipts, your shoebox full of receipts? I'm not being a dick. I love you. I care about you. I'm telling you straight up. That was the fear of God in me. I was like, you know what, dude, as my life got bigger, when I was making $50,000 a year, I could manage everything out of a shoebox. When I was making $100,000 a year, I could not do that. When I made double that, I couldn't do that even more, obviously, right? So my point is, get a good bookkeeper. If you're just running a small part-time side hustle and you're mowing 6 lawns a week, you don't need a bookkeeper. Okay. If you get $20,000-$50,000 a year coming in, this thing starts to pick some legs, get some legs underneath it. Please get a bookkeeper. It'll be so worth it. Use Paul's people, use my people, use your local people. Your wife is not a bookkeeper. Your mother-in-law is not a bookkeeper. Your mom's not a bookkeeper. Your daughter's not a bookkeeper. If they didn't go to school for bookkeeping, or they are not QuickBooks Online certified, or they are not part of an accounting firm or a bookkeeping firm, they are not a bookkeeper. Okay. Anyway, what I will say though, QuickBooks matched or married to a good CRM. Even if you're running a part-time side hustle, and even if you're running a $400,000 a year business, to me, Yardbook is still the number one go-to. It's simple, it's easy, it's streamlined, it's very simple to invoice, add customer profiles, and to either A, charge cards on file, or B, invoice customers via email, with a digital invoice. Okay, it's free. It's amazing. I love it. I've said this 100 times before. If they didn't sponsor the YouTube channel, I would still use Yardbook. If they, like I said, if we didn't get a kickback, I wouldn't be like, hey guys, I'm a jobber guy. Like, I probably should be, right? If Jobber's like, hey, we'll pay you $100,000 a year. I'm not getting those offers. Little quick tip. So if that's ever on the table, I'll be like, hey, I'm with Jobber now. And then you'll see me on my, cruiser yachts boat, right? Yeah, right. All right. I'm trying to be funny here, but I'm also trying to be serious. Okay. I still love Yardbook. I rock it every single day. To me, it's like an iPhone. The best way for me to describe it, it's like an iPhone. It just works. It just does what it needs to do. It's not super fancy. It does do a bunch of different stuff. I use literally 5 features. Okay, I use the invoicing, the customer profile. We use the measurement tool. I use the quick dispatch tool for routing. And I'm probably lying because I probably use 4 out of the 5 things. No, I use the MailChimp integration with it. And then we send out newsletters monthly with all of our invoicing. So there's my 5 features. Maybe I use 6, but I don't want to sound too ambitious here, okay? But if you're starting a part-time lawn care side hustle, we do a 15-minute course on that video. That was the last module in there. It's how to set up your back-end office and workflow. There's, of course, a litany of other things you got to, be concerned about as your business grows. But in a part-time side hustle, you have a mower, you have a trimmer, you have a blower, you have a trailer. Mower, trimmer, blower, and your trailer, okay? I would assume you have a truck, or whether it's a Jimmy, old school Jimmy, GMC, Jimmy that's driving you around, or a Chevy S10. I don't care if it's a Dodge Caravan. I don't care if it's a Chrysler Pacifica. I don't care if it's Tesla Model X and you got the hitch receiver kit. I don't care if you got a Suburban. I don't care if it's a 2021 Suburban. That's the Premier Edition. I don't care if it's a 1997 Birdman. You got the 20-inch chrome rims, the chrome package. You got the gold grill, okay, and it's bronze, and it looks like it's from the hood. That's fine too. Put a hitch and receiver on it. Pull your Tractor Supply trailer around. You got your used Exmark mower. You've got a trimmer, a blower, and you're off to the races, okay? Hand out little business cards, hand out flyers, hand out postcards. And I'm not trivializing anything like this. I'm telling you straight up, this is a solid little part-time business. Now, here's one thing I will say. Begin with the end in mind. Last thing I'm going to wrap this up with is, imagine if it does grow. Imagine if it does get bigger. Okay, this is one thing that I wish I would have thought a little bit more from at the beginning, and we talked about this in the training course as well, is if this thing did get big, okay, would you be happy with the name now if it was doing $2 million a year? Would you be happy with the logo if it was going to be doing $2 million a year? Doesn't mean you have to spend 2 months coming up with a name or $2,000 coming up with some fancy logo from some fancy consultant. No, it just means don't name it, Rod's Lawn Service. Okay, and if you're Rod's Lawn Service, it's okay. Okay, like it's still a good name. I'm Brian. It's Brian's Lawn Maintenance. It's a meme of myself. I joke all the time, like, fancy name there, Brian. Brian's Lawn Maintenance. Okay, but here's the deal. Maybe think about if your region is Livingston County, it's Livingston Lawn and Landscape. If you live in Huntsville, Alabama, it's Huntsville Hardscaping. Think about a region. Think about a name. Think about a location. Think about something that is service oriented, quality oriented, like Elite Landscaping, Elite Lawn and Landscaping, Pinnacle Lawn Care, top tier lawn solutions, top notch. I think just in the last week or two, I saw top notch asphalt. I saw top notch roofing. And I think I saw like top notch landscaping, literally all in the last 2 weeks in my area, and then up north at Bay Harbor from our trip. No lie, I saw 3 top notch businesses, all different industries or whatever you call it in genres of contracting, but it was all top notch. So if you're ever stuck for a name and you want the easy out, go for top notch and then whatever. Okay, top notch tree service, top notch. I'm not even gonna say that. That would have got me in trouble on the podcast. Companionship. So top-notch companionship. Okay, so long story short, let's say this thing does take off. It does get legs, and you're like, it's Rod's Lawn Care. In 5 years, if you have 18 employees and you're doing $2.4 million, Rod's Lawn Care probably doesn't sound like the name you want. So do try to think of something that's bigger, grandiose, more begin with the end in mind kind of a deal. Hey, if this thing did get to $2.5 million, Elite Lawn and Landscape sounds a lot better than Rod's Lawn Care. Okay. And by the way, we can talk all day long about color schemes. We can talk all day long about fonts. We can talk about branding. We can talk all day about different equipment. That's what the rest of the podcast is all about. We have 365 something episodes at length. You can go through all of those and start learning all the nuances, the tips and tricks on the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. If you're new here, welcome to the jungle. If you've made it through this podcast, you can make it through any of them. By the way, Green Industry Podcast, another great resource, 600, 700, 800 podcasts as well there. I think he's at 700 different podcasts. The host is named Paul Jameson. Great dude, really good friend of mine. Great podcast, great advice as well. Very, very similar. We're doing the same thing, helping you guys grow successful lawn and landscaping businesses, okay? If you want to go into depth and you want to learn this was about an hour piece of content here. On the training program, we have video with the content that we're doing there with equipment walkthroughs, trailer walkthroughs. It's actually a really good course. Like I said, there's 556 members of part of that in the last 3 years. You can check that out on launchpreneuracademy.com/store. It's right there at the beginning, and you can check out that training program. So that's what I got for you guys. I'm fired up. It goes full circle to when I came home today, and this goes back to the beginning. I got home and I told Liz, I said, inflation this, gas prices that, food this. I said, how are people surviving? I was like, I know what we make. And I'm like, how are we surviving? Is literally what I said. And she goes, should I be concerned? I said, no, but yeah. I'm like, it went from a good idea to like, if you don't have a side hustle, if you don't have a strong first business and even a side hustle and or a second thing or third or fourth or fifth thing, I said, how are people making it? Gas is $5.40 a gallon. It's going to go to $6 and $7. We all know it. They're going to continue to print money. They're going to do whatever they can right now in this current administration. And it's not an indictment on this administration. I'm just telling you, it is what it is, right? Like that's what they're going to do. Both sides do it, by the way. Okay, so more money is going to get printed. Inflation is just getting started at 8-9%. Okay, by the way, another $1 trillion of the infrastructure bill is basically getting interjected right now as we speak into the economy and the first round of people that are getting access to that money, i.e. the construction industry, the concrete guys, the road builders, all the bridge builders, the infrastructure people. Okay, so my point is you have not seen anything yet. And I'm not a doom and gloom guy because, like I said earlier, if the economy dips down, 1%, 2%, 3%, negative GDP growth, there's still 9.9 or 9.1 or $9.5 trillion of a $10 trillion GDP economy. Okay, it's not like things go to zero. It's just you're going to get a couple more no's. You're going to see profit margins get a little bit smaller. Things are going to be more expensive. You just have to keep your head on a swivel. But my point is, man, the average person out there right now. This is something that is well documented, is that wages are up 4%, 5%, 6%, whatever it is. But because of inflation, inflation is at like 8 or 9%. So there's actually like net income growth for people in the country this last 12, 18 months. It's not a Trump thing. It's not a Biden thing. It's not a this administration thing or that administration thing. I'm just telling you guys straight up, like, I'm not the arbiter of truth over here, okay? I'm just a simple dude over here in Michigan, just trying to grow a successful lawn care company and take care of my wife and kid, right? But what I will tell you guys is, does it feel like your income is going up, going backwards, or staying the same? And for Liz and I'm doing everything I can to make sure, of course, our income is going up. But I'm telling you what, it's like, I did this analogy at Launchpreneur Academy 3 years ago. I said, it's like you can be in an airplane going 300 miles an hour airspeed, but ground speed is 320 the other way, for example, right? And I'm not a pilot, but work with me here. So your plane is going 320 miles an hour forward, or 300 miles an hour forward, but the wind speed is coming at you 320. You're going backwards. Okay, and I don't know what all the technical term of that would mean, but I'm basically saying you're running the engine full forward and you're getting knocked backwards because of the wind pushing you backwards, airspeed to ground speed, and that difference. And that's almost what it feels like right now. And so my heart goes out to people that are trying to make ends meet. And I know, based on the last recession, that an extra $400 to $1,000 a month was a huge deal for a lot of people. You know how I know that? Because it was a huge deal for me. And when I was buying gas at $4 a gallon and $4.50, and I was just getting my lawn care business started, and I was the chuck in the truck, and I was cutting lawns for $20, you know, I probably was paying to cut grass. You guys know what I'm saying? But I will tell you what, when I got an extra $80 coming in or $200 coming in that day or that week, it really did mean the difference. When I was using snow blowers to do snow removal while, being laid off in the winter, and a snowstorm would come through, and I would do 20 driveways at, $20, which was just a literal joke. Should have been $40, $50 even back then. Today, $40, $50, $60 just to visit, just to do the stupid driveway. But man, I tell you what, I know what it was like to have 20 driveways at $20 and make $400 and go buy an Olive Garden, lunch for, $15 after the fact to go get my Olive Garden breadsticks. You guys know what I'm saying? That money, it meant a lot. And I'd never want to forget where we came from. And I don't want you guys to forget where you came from. And it doesn't mean go do cheap work or, work endlessly and doom and gloom and save your nuts. I'm not that guy. Okay. You're still I'm not that guy, pal. You're still going to make money whether the economy is up or down. Okay. There's still a certain amount of finite business that will still be conducted in the country. But let me ask you this. It's the upside, the wiggle room. It's one of those things where for $400 a month to $1,000 a month coming in, if you want to start a part-time lawn care business and side hustle, you can do it for $2, $5, $10,000. You're off to the races. Think that you're going to have this side hustle for a couple of years. So if you're investing $7,000 off the bat, $10,000 off the bat, it's not that bad. What else can you really start nights and weekends to, get 4 clients extra a night at the end of your workday? You get home at 4 or 5 o'clock. You can still mow, 4 lawns, 30 minutes each for 2 hours per night. Over 5 nights, that's 10 lawns at $50 a mow. That's $500 a week. That's $2,000 a month. That's not bad. You can make that money back and then some for your investment for your first year. And then after that, quote unquote, it's all profit. Or you can keep reinvesting and keep growing this thing. And I encourage you to do it because you know what? 3 or 4 years from now, you might be Dylan Stevenson with Solo Cuts Landscaping that flushed a good job and now is probably going to make $100,000 net this year. Okay. And I can give you another 100 examples like that. Okay. That's what I got for you guys in today's show, man. I tell you what, my heart is full, man. I am filling myself up like crazy lately with good content, motivation. I'm charging the hill every single day behind the scenes. I know you guys are as well. And man, my heart is just so full. I care about you guys. Thank you for supporting the show sponsors. Thanks for using the Brian's 10 code. Thanks for support of Launchpreneur Academy. Last I saw, there was like 12 or 1,300 members with the lawn care commercial contract, another 1,000 or something like that with the residential contract. 400 people or something like that bought the snow contract. Yes, we're making money with Launchpreneur Academy. I do appreciate that. I'm pouring my heart and soul into this podcast, man, because I care about you guys so much, and I just want to see you guys win, all right? So thank you for the support. But number 2, man, solve those financial problems. That $400 to $1,000 a month, that changed my life a couple years back. I never am going to forget that, okay? So that's what I got, man. I'm getting heavy at the end here. So we're going to button it up. Marty, Mr. Producer, I don't know how you stitch all this together and make it fun, but we appreciate you more than you know as well. And guys, we care about you. We really, really do. And I hope you guys just go out there and crush it, man. And we'll be back on Friday. All right, over now, guys. Have a great night. And launchpreneuracademy.com. Check it out. Appreciate you guys. Love you. Bye.
Is your back sore from spreading peat moss manually? Are you sick of spending hours trying to create even layers in your yard, only to lose 30% of your product to a wind gust or uneven distribution? If you are looking for a quick, easy, and efficient solution that will not leave you covered in dirt and dust, the Landsea Compost and Peat Moss Spreader is the answer to your prayers. Expertly developed in the USA with a lightweight frame and comfort grip handles, this powder-coated mesh barrel roller makes spreading a breeze no matter the size of your project. Simply clip the handles into a cymbal, load it up with the top dressing of your choice, close the latches, and roll away. Featuring a tumbling cage to break up large clumps and distribute your product evenly every time, our spreader is better for your lawn and better for your wallet. Our modern approach to lawn care will have your lawn looking lush and professionally maintained in no time. With our complimentary Landsea lifetime product warranty and free shipping year-round, you can buy with confidence knowing that we've literally got your back. Visit Landsea.com to learn more and place your order today. That's LANDZIE.com and use Brian's 10 at checkout to save 10%.
Thanks for taking the time to listen to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast with Brian Fullerton. We hope you enjoyed this production. If so, please consider leaving us a 5-star review for the show. While the techniques and ideas presented here are designed to help you grow a more successful and profitable business, no one can guarantee these results for you. We want to emphasize that entrepreneurship is not easy, and the ideas presented here are just the opinions of Brian Fullerton and his respective guests. No one can guarantee success for you. That being said, we hope the ideas presented here help you and motivate you to go on out there and crush it with your own business.
Fullerton Unfiltered Podcast.
Thanks for listening, and we hope to see you on the next episode.
This has been a Brian Fullerton and Mr. Producer production.